I will explain how to use the Bybit exchange. Bybit currently ranks 5th in the cryptocurrency futures trading sector. It is an exchange where major launchpads and launch pools are listed, and as a major exchange, it has a large community and high liquidity. Through TradeFi, it also supports trading of US stocks, foreign exchange, as well as commodities like crude oil and gold. Bybit's trading fees for spot trading are the same at 0.1% for both maker and taker orders, while for futures trading, the taker fee is 0.05% and the maker fee is 0.01%. If you apply the 20% fee discount code in the comments, you can trade at a low cost with a maker fee of 0.1% and a taker fee of 0.48%. Click the 20% fee discount link to sign up for membership. Please note that the fee discount will only be applied if you register through the link. After clicking the link, you can sign up using your email and phone number. If you have a Google account, you can simply click the Google icon below to sign up instantly with your Google email. Now I will sign up using my email. Enter the email you want to use and your password, and your registration will be complete. A security code has been sent to the email you registered with. Check your email, copy the code, and paste it to complete your registration. After signing up, you must complete KYC verification in order to deposit or withdraw from the exchange, so make sure to set this up. Since KYC verification is more convenient on your mobile phone, I will proceed using my phone. After downloading the Bybit app and logging in, you will see a button labeled Verify Now. Tap this section, select your country of residence, check the precautions below, and then press the Confirm button. KYC verification can be completed using a driver's license, ID card, passport, or resident registration certificate. Now, I will proceed using my ID card. After selecting, take a photo of the front side of your ID card and upload it. After uploading, proceed to the next step, which is the selfie photo stage. This involves simple actions like nodding your head or shaking it from side to side. After KYC verification, the review will be completed within 5 to 30 minutes. Now, I will explain deposits and withdrawals. The fastest and easiest way to deposit investment assets into Bybit is to purchase Tether through Bybit's peer-to-peer trading. Since cryptocurrencies are traded using Tether on the exchange, you will need Tether. First, go to the P2P trading menu under the Buy Crypto section at the top of the homepage. Once you're in, click on the P2P menu at the top. Set the button below to Buy and adjust this section to your local currency. Next, if you look below, you'll see a list of sellers. You should trade with sellers who have a high number of transactions and a high completion rate. For example, this seller has completed 394 trades and has a 99% completion rate. Check the payment method and click the Buy button. Enter the amount or quantity of Tether you want to purchase and click the Buy button to start the transaction. Transfer the exact amount to the account number provided by the seller. Once the transfer is complete, make sure to click the I have paid button. After the seller confirms, the Tether will be deposited into your Bybit wallet within a few minutes. By doing this, you can safely purchase Tether through Bybit peer-to-peer trading. Now, let's look at how to withdraw, which is the opposite process. On the P2P tab, click the Sell button. The list below shows people who want to buy Tether. Similarly, select a trader with a high number of transactions and a high completion rate. Once you've chosen a buyer, click the Sell button. Enter the amount of USDT you want to sell and select your preferred payment method, and you're done. Send the Tether to the account provided by the buyer. You can also check the status in real time using the chat feature. Once you confirm the deposit, click the Release Crypto button. When you click it, the Tether will be transferred to the buyer. The cash will be deposited into your bank account. Once you've completed these steps, the withdrawal is finished. Next, let's take a look at how to trade. Since most people trade futures, the Futures section under Trade is for futures trading. If you click and enter, you'll see a screen like this, but sometimes people proceed without knowing the functions. Since this involves actual funds, you must make sure you understand the function of each button before proceeding with any investments. If you are new to futures trading, there is a demo trading section under the Tools menu. This menu allows you to practice trading, and you should familiarize yourself with the function of every button through this simulation. Now let me explain from here. The first thing you see is the Chart section, where you can use various tools to draw on the chart. You can freely use tools such as trend lines, Fibonacci, and Elliott wave tools. At the top of the chart, there is a time frame option. If you click the arrow on the right side here, you'll see a variety of time frames available. You can click and select the time frame you want to view. Next to the time frame, you can click on the indicator section to add the market indicators you want. You can add basic indicators commonly used, such as RSI or MACD. Just add and use the indicators you want. In the center of the screen is the order book. It visualizes the volume being traded on the exchange. At the top right, you can select the unit size to view the volume through the volume selection section. You can choose the unit to display from 0.1 units up to 100 units. At the bottom, through the buy and sell sections, you can easily check which side has more volume concentrated. On the far right, you will find the order window. This is the most important part, so let me explain it step by step from top to bottom. Before I begin, click the gear shape button at the top right of Bybit. When you click it, you'll see a section labeled Position Mode. Click on this and switch it to Hedge Mode. In one-way mode, you can only hold either a long or a short position, but in hedge mode, you can hold both long and short positions at the same time. Choose hedge mode so you can invest strategically. After selecting it, make sure to check the checkbox at the very bottom as well. Then click the Confirm button. Now, let's continue by clicking on the part labeled Cross here. When you click it, you'll see selection buttons for Isolated and Cross. Isolated means isolated margin trading, where the collateral is limited only to the amount of the position when you open it. For example, let's assume you enter a long position with $1,000 at the current price. When you enter the position, it will be established like this. If the price continues to fall from your entry point and your loss rate reaches minus $1,000, you will incur a loss of $1,000 and the position will be closed. The feature that limits the maximum possible loss to the size of your position is called the isolated margin entry method. On the other hand, the cross margin entry method uses your entire wallet balance as collateral. For example, if you enter a long position with 1,000 tether at the current price, the moment your position is forcibly liquidated is when, due to continued losses, the assets in your futures wallet reach zero, at which point the position is forcibly closed. In other words, unlike the isolated margin method, which sets the maximum loss to the position size, the cross margin method sets the maximum loss to the total assets in your futures wallet. Since this method carries higher risk, beginners should trade using the isolated margin method. Portfolio margin is used when taking hedging positions between spot and futures. Since you can only use one-way mode for position mode, I wouldn't recommend it. Next to cross, there is a leverage selection menu. You can set leverage up to 100 times, but the higher the leverage, the greater the risk. For example, let's assume you want to enter a position with 10% of your futures wallet assets at 2 times leverage. Currently, there is about $100,000 in the futures wallet, so 10% would be $10,000. I'll set the leverage to 2 times and enter a long position. As you can see after entering, instead of $10,000 being used, the position will be opened with the amount corresponding to 2 times the leverage. In other words, you're taking a larger position with a smaller amount of money, and as the leverage increases, you're able to take even larger positions with less capital, which also increases the risk. It's best to avoid using high leverage of 10 times or more. Below, you'll see the open and close options. Position open is used to enter a position, whether it's long or short. For example, if you set it to position open and enter a limit order to go long with 1,000 tether at the 74,000 price level, and then press the long open button, your limit order will be displayed on the chart. If the price drops and reaches the 74,000 level, your long position will be executed. You can cancel the order by clicking the X button. In this way, when starting a position, you need to set it to the Position Open tab and place your order for it to go through. You can also modify your order by dragging it with your mouse on the chart. On the other hand, close is used when you want to close a position you currently hold. For example, let's say you currently have a long position. Since I entered at 80,975, if the price reaches 90,000, I would use this to close the long position and take my profit. This is when you use it to end your position. Now set it to close, enter 90,000 as the limit price, and you can choose to close either 50% or 100% of your current position. Then, if you click the long close button here, a long close order will be placed at the price of 90,000. If the price continues to rise and reaches the 90,000 level, the liquidation order will be executed. Similarly, you can drag to modify the order. Likewise, you can cancel it by clicking the X button. You can apply the same method for short positions. A short position is one where you profit when the price falls. Let's assume you have entered a short position at the current price. If the short position is open and the market drops to the 70,000 range and you want to take profit at 70,000, you can click the close button and choose to close 100% of your position at the 70,000 level. You can place a close short order like this. If the market continues to fall and reaches that level, your current position will be closed and you will realize your profit. That's all you need to know about opening and closing positions. Next, there are 3 types: limit, market, and conditional. Let me explain each one. First, limit is a limit order. As the name suggests, it means you are placing an order at a price you specify. For example, if the current price is 80,955 and the price drops to 70,000, you would place a long order. This is how it works. So, you enter 70,000 in the price field and decide to go long with $1,000. If you click the Open Long button, you can see that a long order has been placed at the 70,000 price level you specified. One thing to be careful about is that if you place a long order at a price higher than the current price, it will be executed immediately at the current price. For example, if the current price is 80,970 and you place a long order at 100,000, you'll see an alert and a message indicating immediate execution. This is interpreted as an order to buy at a price higher than the current price, so the price is not set. At this point, if you look all the way to the right, you'll see an order menu called Conditional. This is called a conditional order. If you enter 100,000 as the trigger price and also enter 100,000 in the price field below, a long order will be placed at the 100,000 level. Originally, this order method is used when you want to set a stop loss or buy at the order price if the trigger price is reached. However, when the desired price range is higher or lower than the current price, you can use a conditional order to place your order in advance. You can use the same method for short orders as well. For short limit orders, you cannot place a limit order at a price lower than the current price. By using the conditional function, you can place an order at a lower price. That's all you need to know about limit orders. Next is market. Market refers to a market order. This is an order that allows you to take a position for the desired quantity at the current visible price immediately. When you need to take a position urgently, this function is used when you need to close a position or enter a position quickly. If you set it to market, set the quantity, and then press the long or short button, a position will be taken for that quantity instantly, making it very useful. Continuing on, if you look below, you'll see a section labeled USDT. If you click on it, a window with 3 options will appear. The top option, Order by QT, sets the order unit by the amount of Bitcoin. Since the value of Bitcoin keeps changing, it can be difficult to enter a position. Order by cost takes the amount of tether you enter, adds leverage, and opens a position accordingly. This includes both the entry fee and the liquidation fee. The last option, Order by value, is similar to Order by cost, but allows you to adjust the leverage applied to the position so you can modify the required margin. Usually, Order by cost is most commonly used when trading tether-based futures. Once you enter a position, you can check your position in the position confirmation window like this. On the far left, you'll see the name of the coin you entered and the leverage used. The value section shows the amount you have invested, including leverage. The entry price is the price at which you entered the position. The mark price shows the average Bitcoin price across major exchanges. The liquid price refers to the forced liquidation price. If the market price reaches this level, your position will be forcibly liquidated and your loss will be realized. IM refers to the actual amount of tether invested, excluding leverage. MM is the maintenance margin. To maintain the position, you need to have assets in your wallet equal to the amount shown as MM. Unrealized P&L indicates the return on your position. Realized P&L shows your returns, excluding fees and funding costs. If you are making a profit, it will be displayed in green. If you are at a loss, it will be displayed in red. TP and SL allow you to set your take profit and stop loss prices. In the take profit section, you can set your take profit price and select the profit taking range using the buttons below. For example, you can set it so that if the price reaches a 50% profit from the current price, you will realize your gains. Stop loss is for setting your stop loss. Similarly, you can select your stop loss range using the buttons below. For example, you can set it so that if the price drops by 20% from the current level, you will cut your losses and close your position. A trailing stop is a stop loss that follows the price movement. If you click the menu next to retracement here, you'll see an option called Buy Rate. If you click this part and set it to 0%, it means that if your current position is up by 30% but then drops to 25%, you will take your profit at that price level. If the price does not drop by more than 0%, you will continue to hold your position. So this is an order method used to maximize profits. If you set the activation price below, you can specify the price at which the trailing stop order will be triggered. Reverse position is a method where, if you are currently holding a long position, you close your current position and immediately enter a short position. There are 2 buttons under Close By. There are Limit and Market. Limit is a limit order and Market is a market order. You can place orders from the order window on the right, but you can also place orders directly from your position like this. At the bottom of the order window on the right, you can check your tether assets. Available balance shows the amount of tether you can use for trading. If you understand everything up to this point, you shouldn't have any trouble with futures trading. If you have any questions, please leave a comment and I will do my best to answer them. Thank you.